Good morning, I think. Maybe. It says nothing, but it's showing me a picture. I think we're okay. Give me a minute. I love technology. It's great. It's Tuesday morning. It's Tuesday, September 27th, 2022. My name is Terry Morgan. We're here to practice Baguazhang. And, oh, now it says it's okay. All right. Maybe it's just a little delay in the messaging. I don't know. I have a little short announcement for this morning. I am, and I don't talk about this much, but I have to right now. I am in Central Florida. I am physically in Central Florida, and we have a hurricane coming. We do. I don't know, at this point, I don't know whether or not I will be able to stream live on Thursday and Friday. Pretty sure tomorrow's going to be okay, because it's not supposed to be here yet. But it's coming. And my expectation is that both the power and the internet are going to be knocked out. That's what happens. How long? Don't know. There have been a couple of storms that have come through and the power was off for a couple of hours and then it came back. There have been other situations where it was a few days. I've been in other situations where it was a couple of weeks. Alright, so it's going to get rough. I'm as prepared as I can get. I've got things to do today to get more prepared, but I'm as prepared as I can get. There's not much I can do. And I'll be back. I'll be here as I can. Let me put it that way. So if I have power and I have internet, I will be here. If I don't have power, I can't. If I don't have internet, I can't. But I'll be back after the storm. Whatever disruption there is, I will be back. In the meantime, let's get busy with Bagua. We have the 8 palm changes that we're working on. That's Bagua. And just as a review, we have the prop that I've brought, my rug that has 8 flowers around the circle, which corresponds to the 8 trigrams around the Bagua circle. Center of this has a flower. The center of the Bagua circle has the yin-yang symbol. 2 swimming fish. And as we practice in the earlier heaven pattern, because everything I'm talking about is earlier heaven pattern. Okay? The later heaven pattern has a different representation. The position of the trigrams is different. Okay? This is the earlier heaven pattern. Chen, heaven, in the south. Kun, earth, in the north. In the east, the dragon. In the west, fire. In the west, water, tiger. We have in our Qigong practice, dragon and tiger joined together. That blending. I've talked about it in Qigong class a couple of times. I may talk about it in Qigong class again. That idea that the 2 different elements, fire and water, blend together to not only complement each other, but to regulate each other. Balance. Part of what we want in all of our practice. Okay? So, Chen is number 1 on the circle. We're gonna number these, right? Earth is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, and back to 1. This matters, and I'm repeating myself, I know, but it matters, because as we practice on the circle, as we practice the palm changes on the circle, we change at these positions. So that as we're walking the circle, we continually change from left side to right side as we move through the pattern. We start at 1, from here. Palm change 1 at position 6 over here. Come back around 2, all the way around 3, and 4. And then 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. We're going to work on those next week, okay? Today we're working on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Slowly, feet together, stand straight. No, we didn't do warm-ups. I'm not doing warm-ups this morning. Slowly. Salute. Turn. And we're just marking this. It's not, don't exert yourself. We're just marking this right now. Right? Right foot front. Right hand to the center. Step 1, 2. First palm change. Close in, up, step out. Left hand tucks under. Open to the left. Step 1, 2. Palm change 2. Right? Tuck under, split, down, come around. Right side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close, open, and turn. That's palm change 3. 1, 2. Palm change 4. Step through and change, up and down. And don't fall over. And turn around. All right? Now, I went up, I was leaning, I rolled to the outside of my foot. I wasn't in balance. I wasn't really trying to be. I should have, but I didn't. My purpose. Pay attention to the pattern. Where do we change? Palm change 1. Come back around. Palm change 2. As we walk the circle, we want to pay attention to which direction we're going, right? And what we need to do to get there. Now, I just walked the circle. That sense of placement in space, where am I in this arrangement? Together with balance, the internal balance, is part of what we want. And the internal work that we need to do is also very much a part of our practice. I've talked about this a little bit in the context of our breathing and using the waist, using the internal energy. Let's do basic stretch 3 times because I am going to do a little bit more. And I need to warm up. I wasn't going to do this. But as I've stretch over, just keep going. As I started, I realized that if I don't do just a little bit of stretching, that was it, there's an opportunity to cause myself an issue. I don't want to do that. A little bit of leg work, leg stretch, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I scooted down. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and sink. Other leg, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And yes, for those last 5, I went down more. I'm having fun with this morning. The pattern, the stretches, all of the things that we do to prepare outside, we need to also prepare a little bit inside. And that's part of what I'm doing. The discussion, what are we going to do? Here's what we're doing. Let's do a little bit, right? That is also a part of preparation. Understanding what we're going to do. If you don't know what we're going to do, how are you going to do it, right? And I'm slowing this down this morning for a reason. There's a couple of them. First, from yesterday, as we're going through the form, I realized that there's a few things that I'm doing that are necessary and hard to see. I also realized that there are a few things that I haven't really talked about that much, that I haven't asked you to learn. Yeah, we need to do that too. All right, so part of that, and I'm going to talk about this right now, and we're going to do it. Part of that comes from, you've got to be warmed up. You need to be warmed up to do this. Right? This is not something that you do cold. Okay? So I'm not going to do as much right now as I will in a few minutes after I warm up a little bit more. Makes a difference. It does. I talked about using the waist and using the lower Tantian. That's where my hands are. Both Laogong. We use this position for our Qigong practice. Begin at extreme emptiness. Pull up to middle Tantian and press down. Okay? Lower Tantian. Talking about Bagua now. Okay? In Bagua, notice what my arms are doing. It's intentional. In Bagua, we turn. 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 This, let me stand this way. What my elbow did, turn, goes this way, goes this way. That wasn't, first one was my elbow. Second one was not. Lower Tantian drives. The energy from the lower Tantian moves, that moves the waist, that moves the rest of the body. Waist joins the upper body and the lower body. As the waist turns, So does the upper body and the lower body. They are connected. They must be connected. Okay? This is not something that is inherent. It's not, say, you have to learn it, right? Lower body and upper body connected, hand and foot, knee and elbow, shoulder and hip. Upper body, lower body. If I'm only working my upper body, I'm going to disconnect this for a second. Right? Let me do that again. My hands went first, lower body did not move, and then I put my foot there. No. All together, all at the same time, everything arrives together. As we move, we want that integration. We want the upper body and the lower body to be tightly connected so that as we move, we can sink the energy through the root, the heel, hold through the yung chuan in the ball of the foot, grip with the toes just a little bit, just a little, not just a little. Pull up through the back, pull in through the center. This all needs to hold. Everything through this entire area needs to hold, not tightly, the same as we're not gripping the floor, and it's not tight, it's not tense. It's just there. It's held. It needs to be held so that we can move it. Pull up. Salute to the center. Not too fast. All four on the pattern. Not too fast. Ready? And breathe in. Breathe out. Open the left. Turn. 1, 2. Palm change 1. And 1, 2. Palm change 2. And come around. Palm change 3. And palm change 4. Palm change 5. Not yet. All right, we're going to do this again. We'll do it a couple more times. As we walk the circle, as we go around, pay attention to the stepping method. Pay attention to your placement. Where am I in space? Where am I on the circle? Pay attention to the sense of pulling up and turning here so that your movement comes from the waist and ultimately the lower dantian, not from your shoulder or your foot or your knee, whole body all together. Still not too fast, okay? Not too fast. Salute. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out, sink, turn, open, and walk. Palm change 1. Palm change 2. Come around. Goes to the outside, palm change 3. Twist. Come around. Palm change 4. Relax. The discussion I had yesterday was very much about the idea that this is not flap your hands, wave your hands, do funny things out here. This is a martial art. That behind everything that we're doing, there is intent. There is the idea that we could do something with this. That in a circumstance that there was the need to defend myself. That works pretty good. It does. It really does. That idea must be present. If it's not, you're dancing, you're doing something else, I don't know, but if the sense of purpose is absent, you're not doing it right. If the only thing that you're thinking about is one particular application and you're trying to hit something, imagine there's this thing here and I'm going to hit it with this one thing. You're doing it wrong. That's wrong too. Okay. What is the application here? What's the application? What is this application? Fundamentally, it's ward off and pull down. This comes out, move out of the way. This can grab. I can strike with it too, but here, it's coming down. Right? Ward off, pull down. That's the application. Now, what am I going to do with that? What might I do with that? A couple of dozen possible things. Quite a few, actually. It's not one thing. It's not this movement counters this movement. If this movement exists, you must use this movement to counter it. No. What fits the circumstance? What's in this? What? That's ward off too. Right? It is. That's ward off. I just move whatever it was out of my way. Go away. Right? That sense of application is what we want to cultivate. What do I need in order for this to be an application? What do I need to pay attention to? Well, I probably need to pay attention to my balance and my placement, right? I need to pay attention to my intent, which if I'm looking at the need to do something, my intent is usually no. I'm not going to let you do that to me. No. Now, whatever the circumstance may be, that is going to be different. Whatever I might do will depend on the circumstance. Ward off, pull down. Entering, leaving. We entering is an application. All right? The excuse me. The common sense of this person does this thing and I'm going to do this thing. Practice. I practiced that. I did. You come at me with this, I come back, I do this, you do that. We learn how to coordinate our movements. Using the movement is something entirely different. That I'm in class and I'm going to work with my friend and my friend is going to try and punch me, and I know my friend is not going to really try and hit me unless my friend is my real friend, and then they're actually going to try and hit me, because my skill won't develop unless that happens. You gotta work it. That combination of, there is no one thing that is always going, this must be this one thing, right? Versus, I'm going to practice. What am I going to do? Well, you got to pick something. If you're going to practice, you got to pick something. If you're actively going to use, you don't pick, you react. Okay? That's part of the training too. I'm not going to wait. If somebody's going to attack me, I'm not going to, well, let me see, which technique should I use? I could use this one. Is it the right hand or the left hand? I'm going to use this technique. By that time, the person's already punched me, I'm probably on the ground. Right? It's too late. We have an expression, and we're going to do this a couple more times, and I am going to go a little bit faster. Not too fast because this camera won't pick it up, but a little bit. We have an expression that comes from Yi Jing, my Bagua teacher, Taiji teacher, Xingyi teacher. I learned quite a bit from Huang Weilun in Taiji, but I spent close to 30 years studying with Professor Liu, so I learned a little bit more from him than in the 5 years that I spent with Huang Weilun. That said, those 5 years were pretty valuable. The expression, my opponent doesn't move, I don't move, I do nothing. My opponent does nothing. If somebody does nothing, why am I going to do anything? What do I need to do? When my opponent moves, I move first. Being able to see the inception of the movement, being able to see where the movement starts, and understand almost intuitively, this again, reaction. What can I do against this particular attack? What's possible? Those possibilities. Do I need my hands? Do I need my feet? Right? I just stepped on somebody. Right here. Right? Probably not. Probably not going to let me get that close to do that. Not at that speed anyway. Alright? That's the sense that there is something. I've decided no. Can I move out of the way? That's easier. I'm going to get out of the way. Hey, keep going. You want to go that way? Let me help you. Keep going. If I have to do something, what? Depends. The skill that we gain from practice gives us that, what might I do? The discipline that we gain from practice lets us do that without really having to stop and think about, well, what am I going to do now? You move. And the insight gives us the skill to do what will put us in an advantageous position so that the opponent is effectively countered. If I'm not ready to move, if I'm not ready to do whatever the situation requires, I can't do it. All right? That practice that we're doing right now is that preparation, with the idea in my mind that I don't ever want to have to use this. I don't. I hope I never have to use this. Ready? Salute. Not too fast. Relax the breath. Breathe in. Turn. Palm change one. And come around. Palm change two. And keep going. Palm change three. And come around. Palm change four. Relax. And do it again. The sense that twist, twist, twist. I'm doing a lot through here. This looks like it's doing the work. It's not. What I'm doing with my hands, most of the turns, are the result of what I'm doing internally. I turn through the waist. Again, not too fast. Salute to the center. Pull up and in. Up through the crown of the head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Turn. And palm change one. On the circle. Come around. Palm change two. Walk around. Palm change three. And palm change four. All right, relax. Notice that I put my foot down. It's really obvious, right? It's off balance. Put it down, brought it back up. That gave me, I was off, put it down, got the balance back, and was able to bring it back up. That's a skill. That's a skill. In whatever circumstance you're in, if you put yourself off balance, you give your opponent an opportunity. Don't do that. Why would you want to give your opponent an opportunity? I don't. I don't. How do you fix it? Something happens, how do you fix it? What I just did. Right? I'm here. Come around. Right here. Too much weight on my front foot. I'm not ready to go up. How do I fix it? At this moment, I can't. I have to do something else first. Okay? Knowing that, how did I get myself into that position? That I couldn't weight change? Right here. Too much weight went to my left leg. Some has to be there. This is not it's not an empty stance. But as I turn, I need to be able, right? I have to set my right foot, left's going up. I have to set my right foot and bring my hip back in order for this to go up. And I did wobble just a little bit there. Roll to the outside, roll back to the inside. A little bit. Again, being placed over your foot gives you the ability to extend both your body parts, and your internal energy. If I'm not paying attention, right? Wobble, I'm leaning, not leaning, right? That left leg stronger. All right, that stance, right? That's it. Pull this in. This foot comes, you don't want to touch your other leg, but it's pretty close. You can. You pull your foot in, you can hold and support your knee. Don't do it because it's a bad, number one, it's a bad habit, and number two, it constrains what you might do with that foot. Right? That didn't work. Let's try that. Ouch. The foot's got purpose. The knee could also be used, right? Close enough. Or how close is my opponent? This sense, that's what I've been talking about with the idea that there is something behind. There is intent and purpose behind everything that we do. It's not dance. I danced. I like dance. This isn't dance. There are elements of dance, rhythm, timing, body position, body placement, everything that we do with the human body. If I was a gymnast, I could compare certain things that we do with gymnastics. I could. Some of it is reaching a little bit on that, but I could. I can compare a little bit of what we do to basketball. It's not the same. But there are certain things that we pay attention to, our stepping method, the ability to go up and down, the ability to move quickly. Certain things that are common because we're human. This is what I got to work with. If I play piano, I'm keyboard, right? I need a keyboard. Giving me if I'm a keyboard player, and you give me a viola, lower than a violin, viola, you give me a viola, I might not be able to play it, but I could play the keyboards. That is, but I understand the music. That's a common element. Same idea that we have here. There are common elements from other things that we can bring in to this unique art. Bagua is Bagua. Bagua is not Taiji. Bagua is not basketball. Bagua is not Xingyi. Bagua is not Liolabapa. Bagua is Bagua. Baguazhang. 8 palm changes. All right. 2 more times. Not slow. Not too fast, but not slow. Pull up. Salute. Smile. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Turn. Open. Palm change 1. Palm change 2. And keep going. Palm change 3. Ready in, palm change 4. Walk around the circle. Come back. 6. Palm change 1. Palm change 2. Walk around the circle, palm change 3. And palm change 4. Walk around the circle. Close. Salute center. All right, that's it for today. Tomorrow, same thing. A little bit more attention on what we're doing through the moves. Thursday and Friday, fingers crossed I will have power and internet and I'll be able to be here. If not, as soon as I get power back, I'll be back. Wishing everybody in Central Florida good luck, and especially the folks over in Tampa, Clearwater. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it.